out on track. The first race of the weekend. It's the Australian V8 Ute Racing Series at Australia's most iconic track. We've had to wait until just after the lunch break here at Mount Panorama to dive into the first of our races here across the 6 categories that are racing. From this one all the way up to the main game race on Sunday, there's going to be lots of action on the track. And it's Ryle Harris who will start this one. From pole position, he'll be joined by Nathan Pretty on the front row, and I'm joined by Dean Canto in the commentary box. Nice co-driver session out of the way. You've got a big day and a big weekend planned in that Bottle Falcon, Dean. Yeah, cheers, Chad. It was good to go a little bit quicker than I did last year. Still didn't get into the 5s. It was a 6 even, so kicking myself. Yeah, it's always good to see that number 5 instead of a 6, but no, looking forward to it. The car's working pretty well, and these guys now are going to cut to Ryle Harris, leading them away. Now, that is not an error. They are starting on the second row. I'll get to that in a moment. David Seeders will be starting off the inside of row 3. He's the championship leader. Mason Barbera got a pole position recently at Townsville. Jeremy Gray, well, he's got his best qualifying position up there inside the top 6. Craig Dontis, always fast, just outside those top 5 spots. Jared McLeod about to start his 100th race in the Utes. Congratulations to the son of the 1987 great race winner. Kim Jane, how about Kim? Still struggling for a little bit of balance and grip here this weekend, so watch him come flying through. Terry Nightingale, they fixed that Ute after a nasty crash yesterday. We've got Troy Dontis, the twin brother of Craig, further back in the pack, and Jack Ellsgood, the 2009 champion, off the back. He had diff issues in qualifying, only got 2 laps in. Those who are familiar with this series will remember the name Luke Spalding, just an 18-year-old young driver who won the Australian national class in Formula 3 and was racing in the Utes this year, who sadly lost his battle with cancer in between the last round at Townsville and now actually only quite recently. And that man starting on pole position is not only carrying a necklace with some of Luke's ashes inside this car, but he'll also start off the second row, and they're going to leave that front row vacant for Luke, who so dearly would have loved to race here. That's why position 1, Dean, is going to be vacant. Yeah, it's a great sentiment, and good for Ryle carrying him around the mountain and you know, taking him along with him for the ride. So obviously, yeah, we saw Ryle yesterday come out right at the end of qualifying, just knocked Nathan Pretty off. Nathan probably thought he had it in the bag, but all the same, I'm sure Nathan will race him hard all the way to turn 1 off the start. And Dave Seeders, obviously, P3 there. He'll be one to watch as well off the start line here. He has a whole race points lead, 70 points for the race winner, so he doesn't need to win every race on the way to the flag here today. 3 rounds remaining in this championship, 9 races in total. Harris, every time he's claimed pole position at the mountain, or both times I should say, he's turned it into a round victory. So that could be a good omen. Best possible place to start, and yeah, obviously you've got right of way into turn 1, providing you have the line well. So we'll see what he does here. Plenty of experience getting these Utes off the line. Put 6 laps on the board. Remembering young 18-year-old Luke Spalding in this one with the front row vacant. Our thoughts go to the Spalding family, who will be watching this and wishing that Luke was on the green and the lights are out. It's an even start between Harris and Pretty, but Harris looking good for the inside line at turn 1, and a good start for Seeders as well. How does he play the first corner? They run it tight over the curb. Fairly clean start. Some 3 wide action in the background is always exciting. It's Burnett on the middle, and they're knocking panels up Mountain Straight. It's good to see a race. All the time trials and qualifying behind us as we go racing in the Utes. After turn 2 here, they were all quite gentle on each other into turn 1 there. Seeders probably could have had a look on the inside of Nathan, but chose to leave him a bit of room here. And as a result, it's Nathan who prevails in second position. Seeders just falls in behind them. All 3 of these guys at the front have won races here before. And Jeremy Gray with a good start. He's picked up a couple of spots to go 4. Yeah, Ryle was a bit defensive into turn 2 there, so not sure if he missed a gear Mountain Straight, but Nathan there is obviously the best time to jump on someone is lap 1 when they're not ready for it because they're so closely matched. Now this is just a game of chicken going up to Reed Park. Oh dear. Nandy Kiss facing the wrong way. Peter Burnett a part of this one. I was getting ready for the big, the track is blocked, the track is blocked, but it was the back markers. So thankfully there was a gap. Yeah, unfortunately this Maple, yeah, it doesn't look like these cars are going anywhere on their own, under their own steam. So
obviously this side's had both.
Both sides of this ute, Dino, have had a bit of a whack here. You can see the little We Fly with 23 on the A-pillar of that car as well. That is another little tribute to Luke.
Yeah. Good to see the sport, the category taking that initiative.
So not the way we wanted to start our first race of the weekend. The officials asking for a little bit of help at the tyre power cutting.
Yeah, that's just a signal for a flat toe or a flat bed, so you can sometimes just get pulled and roll around. But yeah, I'd say both these cars, to replay here, just a start.
Take it back with that vacant front row. Even start. Well, Harris actually had a pretty good jump there. Kim Jane picked up a few as well quite early.
Yeah, Ryle definitely got the jump on Nate. Just a little bit quicker in reaction. And then everyone trying to sort themselves out as we go down into turn 1. Basic Gray off the line.
Yeah, that was very close. He got a really good start, picking up a couple of spots.
And another view. Many cameras we have here.
We've got a few on board for you to watch out for in our Yokohama replay. We're looking off the back of Craig Dontis, third in the points. Oh, I didn't realise there was such contact between himself and Barbera. How about McLeod and Fisher? They were still side by side at Reed Park.
That's not contact, mate.
Just leaning on each other.
Just using your mate as a bit of a berm.
You can do that when you've got doors, but what happened at the top? That is the exact same crash that Murphy and Ambrose had. Yeah. Identical.
Pretty much. It's one of those corners, you're blindsided if you're the car in front. And he probably was up and up on the inside, but it's one of those corners, first lap. It was a big impact. Oh, he got a bit of a touch from the rear as well.
Bruce Oakland's nice job. He did a really good job at sneaking through. So unfortunately, the Lexus RCF safety car is going to lead the pack around, and we'll get back to racing as soon as we can. So this is the scene up at the tyre power cutting. 2 cars stuck in the fence, or 2 utes stuck in the fence. Safety car conditions. Team Medical Australia on the scene, but both drivers climbing out of these ones in a very similar crash to what we saw here back in the day with Ambrose and Murphy getting into each other, just without the argument.
Without the argument and without the pile up behind them. So thankfully everyone else got through. There was a bit of nose-to-tail contact for the cars behind following, but yeah, we've got a reasonably full field for the last 4-lap dash to the end. The recovery crew doing their best to get the cars on the truck as quick as they can, and these guys just keeping their tyres warm. Dontis, local boy from where I am, and just gathering their thoughts now and waiting for the call that you know, lights out on the safety car. Basically, not too much you can do in this time.
Must be a little bit frustrating when you're building yourself up to this moment, that first race of the weekend, and if you're one of the leaded pack, you'd just be hoping not to see those safety car boards go out. Unfortunately, that was the occasion that befell Harris. Pretty and Cedars at the front of the field, behind that safety car right now. So the Lexus RCF safety car leading us down Conrod Straight, still at the front of the field on only the 2nd lap. And hopefully we'll get a few green laps in here, Dean Canto. This is the replay of what happened at the cutting.
Yeah, I think he actually started to back out of it there, and realised he probably shouldn't have stayed there. Andy hadn't seen him, but that's the end result.
Man, that was a big hit. This is from onboard Bruce Oakland's. It all kicks off.
You watch the vibration in the back of Bruce. I reckon he gets a little nudge from behind.
Oh, boy. Almost pushed him through the gap, didn't it? Great job, Todd Zaney, to get through there. And this is Nandy Kiss taking the balaclava off on the Yokohama replay. And let's see what his reaction was climbing out of this one.
Yeah, thought he would have given a bit more of a go to get going. Oh, that one's definitely not going anywhere. That's a hard hit. Hopefully they can get him back out, but that was pretty massive. That concrete wall, he hit that square or a little bit on one end and then the other, and when you hit right on the wheels, that does transfer so much force across the chassis, and usually makes it hard to pull it straight.
That'll be a big job. They've got 2 more races yet to go after this weekend, and that'll be a tough fix to get that back out for tomorrow. So hopefully, the word from race control is that they could get it going on the lap after this one. They're doing their best at the tyre power cutting to retrieve those 2 stricken cars. Speed all weekend at this mountain has been phenomenal. The co-driver session was fantastic. And we've still got a big qualifying session, a top 10 shootout. Any idea at how low the number could go here this weekend?
Well, I mean, they punched out a 5-1 before. Win-Cup's record last year was a 4-9. So, you know, the wind's picked up a bit. But if the track drops down, like we're doing 5-1s as the track was before in that track condition, we're definitely going to see the record go. And, you know, if you can work it where you get a tow from someone, you know, we don't like giving them away easily, but depending on how you go coming out of the pits and start a lap, if you can get a tow, even when a car's 200 metres up the road, it still makes a difference to your lap time down the 2 long straights. So, but yeah, I reckon we're going to see another lap record today, and hopefully it's our car that is the one that achieves the ultimate.
Well, Foster was very quick earlier. He was, second in that session?
Yep.
And the man who's second in this race, Nathan Pretty, looking good in the points as well in season 2016. We caught up with him earlier in the weekend.
Anytime you start on the front row at Bathurst, you've got to take that one, haven't you, Nathan? Because that's the place you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Roll did a great job. He picked me by 3/100ths of a second on his very last lap, and things are looking good. The car's really fast. The guys have done a fantastic job back at the workshop, obviously, because as soon as we rolled it out of the truck here yesterday, it was fast. So very happy to be starting up the front. I love this place.
I was going to say, you do love it, and you have raced here before. What do you love about it?
Yeah, once or twice. Look, it's commitment. It rewards commitment. It's one of those sort of things that sort of track and a bit of road that if you're not committed, you won't get that time. But also, if you're overcommitted, you're going to end up on the back of a flat tray, and that's not what we want.
As we know, these guys race pretty hard. You're going to be watching your mirrors a bit?
No, I'm not going to. Once I get the start and all the rest of it, I'll just keep a glance on the mirror and all the rest of it. Really, it's just a matter of looking out through that front window and head down and backside up and just get on with the job at hand.
He's always got a smile on his face, Nathan Pretty. Based down there in Victoria, 43 years of age, has a huge history. Actually raced with his sister at the great race, the FIA 1000 back in 1998, a long time ago, so a lot of experience. Nicole Pretty, very handy race car driver in her own right, since we've got the girls racing here this weekend. Another little fun fact for you, Dino. Peter Brock won a ute race here at the Mountain. It wasn't just the main game that he was so good at. Actually picked up a race win driving with James Brock. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Brocky had a few goes in the utes there. Any driver, you give him a steering wheel and a couple of pedals and they'll have a go at it. But so how did you tell when Nathan and Nicole were in the car? Same initials on the board there.
True. Would have been any co-driver lights back then. Would have been whoever was sitting in the garage to give away the answer. So we'll be back to racing shortly here. I'm hearing from race control this time by. So at the halfway point, Ryle Harris will have the restart. 5 race wins for him at this track. 3 pole positions, 2 round wins. He loves the Mountain. He'll be busy. He's got to get out of this and then go over to the Dunlop Series car as well this weekend.
Yeah, that's a fair change. 2 different, very, very different cars. Improved road car as opposed to a purpose-built race car. It's take my hat off to him. He's quite busy, and it's always a challenge, just especially when you hop out of one straight into another to adjust.
One thing I never realised until I came to Bathurst is that people live inside the racetrack. There are actually residential areas. You can see some of these houses and beautifully manicured yards. And I'd be lying if I said you didn't occasionally just go on realestate.com and see what houses on Conrod Strait are going for. Imagine living there. How cool is that?
Well, you look at the track schedule, and in our little schedule that we have, it's got resident access. They actually shut the track down in the middle of the day for resident access. Not Sunday. It's a bit hard on Sunday to stop the great race. But most other days, they let the residents out to go and get some milk. Lights out on the safety car.
I think there's a little vineyard tucked away somewhere up the mountain as well. It's a hell of a racetrack.
Trust you to know that, mate.
You're the one who lives near the Barossa, I think. It's where you get set with the safety car lights out. Thank you to Lexus for sending us another immaculate safety car for a big weekend at Bathurst. We roll down towards Murray's. We turn onto the front straight, and Ryle Harris will bring us back with the green flag in the air, racing once again at Mount Panorama. Harris, Pretty, Cedars, Gray, Hansford. That's your top 5.
Yeah, good restart there from Ryle. Half a second to the control line. He gapped Nathan, so got the jump on him. But Nathan now has got to put his head down, see what he can learn from Ryle watching him. Someone using all the road there. Was that Cedars?
Cedars.
Yeah. That'll hurt his run up Mountain Straight. Might give a run for Jeremy Gray into turn 2.
This is going to be a good old-fashioned green-white checker, this one, Dean. So they'll only have 2 laps on that restart to go. Yeah. Cedars defensive.
Cedars defensive after that bad run out of turn 1.
Jane up the inside of the man they call Cyborg. That's Aaron Borg, former kart racer who's done a little bit of the utes. Had a really good round once in Darwin from memory. He's tagging along with the lead pack, which is a good sign of his skills.
Jack L's good in the pits. Obviously, problems continued from yesterday.
What a shame for the man who won this championship 7 years ago. Up under the tyres.
Leaning on it. Oh. Good bit of track this. Hard when you're following though. These guys obviously have been doing practice and qualifying up until now, and you know, you might have your rhythm, but as soon as you start following someone, you're basically judging yourself off them. So if they run wide, more than likely you're going to run wide. Usually that's why you see multiple cars hit the wall at the top when leading or following the leader. One makes a mistake and everyone tends to follow.
One in, all win.
Yeah. Flashbacks to a couple of years ago when it was wet at the top and 3 cars all followed each other in. But these guys are all a bit tame now. Not too much happening at the moment, but Nathan there staying with Roll. Just gap the rest of the field a little bit.
A little bit of defensive stuff going on in that battle inside the top 5. We're right on board with Craig Dontis, looking back at young Queenslander Mason Barbera. You can see IOR Petroleum on the pink and black Falcon. How's the speed down Conrod? Watch this.
And just looking at the speed trap there, you can tell who's punching the big hole in the air, because Roll Harris is a good 6k slower down Conrod. Everyone else in his tow. A little bit easier for them to follow.
Not the most aerodynamic race car ever invented, the Ute. That's why we love him. He'll struggle for grip. All right.
An angry little pack here. And obviously with 2 laps remaining, it's these guys might show us something towards the end here. Someone might have a dive.
So it should be the last lap starting now. Check out another replay from the tyre power cutting.
Oh, it's going to be a kiss of the wall.
That is close. Is it true that on your first race here, oh no, Woods, that continued actually around. Is it true here, your first race at Bathurst, you had a little moment over that wall?
Well, yeah, I got sent to the outside wall there and the car caught on fire, and I remember as the car was bouncing up into the wall, I looked over the edge and thought, yeah, that's not ideal. But yeah, the guy who actually turned me around, he had his licence taken off him by cams for a while, so that's how rude he was about it. It was not ideal, and that was my first introduction to the Bathurst 1000. But
hasn't got a lot easier for you since, to be honest.
No, I tell you what, that concrete's real hard. But I was sore. Very sore, I was winded, but as soon as you see those flames, all the pain goes away, and miraculously you end up like a jackrabbit out of a car. But, Nate's looking pretty smooth here, but I mean, Ryle's just got to manage him for the rest of this lap. Over the top of the place, you really can't pass. When you're at this level, you're all the same sort of pace, even if you're half a second faster. You really can't pass someone over the top. So Nate's obviously driving really well, got the fastest first sector on this lap. And Ryle will just be watching his mirrors going, yeah, I've got you covered, buddy. All good.
Doing a very nice job in the Bush Ranger Ute. Driving for Peters Motorsport, the team that won this round last year with Chris Walton at the helm. Has missed the majority of 2016, but he did pick up the reverse grid race win in Clipsal earlier this year. In that race that was stopped early by the big fire for Kim Jane.
So Dontis, he's had to go tight for the entry under Conrod.
He's carrying 20 kilos of ballast as well, which is not going to help right now.
No. No one likes carrying any more than a couple of 100 grams more than the legal limit. And he's actually got good motor there. He got out of Forest Elbow really well. Ryle's just maintained to get Nathan into the chase. Dontis, squirming.
Barbera with a big wiggle.
Great.
They're trying. And he got it stopped down there. They both did. Busy hands for Mason Barbera.
How cool was that, seeing his hands?
Wow. They are working. And the first race this weekend is going to go to the fast man from the Gold Coast, Ryle Harris, carrying the ashes of his friend Luke Cedars. Sorry, not Luke Cedars, but Luke Spalding. Luke Cedars is in the pits. And that is a great moment for Ryle Harris to win again. He extends his race wins record here. And that is his 6th victory at the mountain. Just so strong picking up another one. Bit of an anticlimactic start to the weekend. You just get the feeling they're building. Nathan Pretty second in that race and closing that points gap up to Cedars. Cedars finished second in, well, he's actually extended that lead over Hansford there because Hansford finished fifth. So interesting first race. We've got 3 coming up for these guys here this weekend. Jared McLeod in his 100th race, rounding out the top 10. So, first race, it's done. We're building towards the great race on Sunday. It's 161 laps, but for more numbers that matter, check this out.